Good afternoon and welcome to today's proceedings of the Senate on this Wednesday afternoon, 19th June 2019. This broadcast is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. The broadcast is available on Senate TV as well as KBC Channel 1. This afternoon, the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources, will lay on the table of the Senate a paper on the report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 31 of 2018. The Senate Majority Leader will also lay on the table of the Senate a paper on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the County Assembly of Nyandarua for the year ended 30th June 2018. Senator for Marsabit County, Senator Engineer Godana Hargura, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation concerning the states of Loyangalani airstrip in Marsabit County. Nominated Senator Bishiro Halake, will also seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the issue of zero rating of duty and VAT on locally manufactured menstrual hygiene products. The Senator for Makueni County, Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on the digital cab-hailing apps operating in Kenya. And nominated Senator Farhia Ali will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on attacks by Al-Shabaab terrorists in Wajir County. As well this afternoon, the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2019. This is a committee bill originating from the Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industrialization, which will be read for the first time. The principal object of this bill is to provide a framework to regulate the business of street vending in the country. Small-scale traders or small-scale trade contributes significantly to the growth of the trade industry in the country. This is according to the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industrialization, Senator Kibiru. The senator argues currently there is no legal framework governing the business of street vending. Thus, the challenges being experienced by both the street vendors and the county governments in the undertaking of the business. The regulation of the trade will therefore ensure that street vendors are able to transact business in favorable conditions. Clause 29 of the bill delegates legislative powers to the Cabinet Secretary for the purpose of giving effect to the provisions of the Act. The bill does not limit fundamental rights and freedoms. Part 2 of the Part 2 of the fourth schedule to the Constitution designates trade development and regulation as one of the functional areas of the county government. The bill affects the powers and functions of county governments, and it is therefore a bill that concerns counties in terms of Article 110, subsection 1A of the Constitution. The bill is not a money bill within the meaning of Article 114 of the Constitution of Kenya.
You may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. They are Mr. Abdullahi Noor, Senior Clerk Assistant, Mr. Abdullahi Osman, Senior Clerk Assistant. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Senator Farhia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I wish to join you in welcoming the two Abdullahis from Garissa County. Mr. Speaker, Senate is the best place they can benchmark. This is where the right decisions and the right motions and the right things in as far as protecting counties happen, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, given that County Assembly is the primary oversight for counties, Mr. Speaker, they need to learn as much as possible from able secretaries in the Senate so that they can execute their mandate properly and ensuring that counties, and right now there's a lot of corruption in counties, there's a lot of mismanagement of resources in counties. Mr. Speaker, in 2010, Kenyans made a decision and they wanted devolution, Mr. Speaker. And I urge all the county assemblies, wherever they are, especially in Garissa County, because their members, their county assembly secretariats are here, to ensure that county government meets the aspiration of those voters who voted those counties and those voters who decided devolution is the best, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in some of our counties, like in my county of Wajir County, the first ever tarmac we ever had in that county was done by county government, Mr. Speaker. So there is something good in counties. This House and members of County Assembly in the 47 counties need to protect devolution, Mr. Speaker. There is so much fight right now against devolution. And part of the reason and the excuse is, county governments are corrupt, they don't deliver for their people. And Mr. Speaker, just to demystify, then the county government and the members of County Assembly need to be counted to ensure that they tackle issue of corruption in counties, Mr. Speaker. Because the poverty level in counties is still very high, Mr. Speaker. I wish to thank you for allowing me to join you in thanking the members of the secretaries of County Assembly of Garissa.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim.
Mine is just to welcome the members who are our neighbors, the two Abdullahis who are neighbors to Wajir, who come from Garissa. Welcome to the Senate and learn what the best way to solve the issues of Garissa when it comes to the oversight issues of the county assemblies. Karibun. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Leader of Majority.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Wednesday, 19th June 2019. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Nyandarua for the year ended 30th June 2018. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Lands Committee. Chairman Lands.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Wednesday, 19th June 2019. Report of the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 31 of 2018. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order, and members note that we are now on supplementary order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Leader of Majority.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give the following notice of motion: approval of senators to serve in the Standing Committee on national cohesion, equal opportunity, and regional integration, that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the House approves the nomination of the following senators to serve in the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration: Senator Millicent Omanga to replace Senator Philip Paye, Senator Christopher Langat to replace Senator Gideon Moy, Senator Lelekwe Lutumbesi to replace Senator Anwar Loitiptip, MP. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Is not there. So. Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr.
I have a statement to request, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order number 48.1, I seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on the digital cab-hailing apps operating in Kenya. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, can I be heard? Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me.
You heard
Yes, in the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should state the number of drivers currently registered to operate in Kenya under the Uber, Taxify, and other ride-hailing applications. Number 2, explain the payment agreements between the drivers, app managers, business partnerships, amongst others, under Kenyan law or any other legislation. C, explain the rationale for the remission by the drivers of 25% of their collection, which is an unfair labor practice tantamount to latter-day slavery and violates the minimum wage principle under the country's labor laws. D, state whether the government, through the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, has sanctioned the operations of these ride-hailing apps under the Employment Act and other labor laws. E, state how the country is benefiting in terms of revenue from these digital cab-hailing apps. And last but not least, state the steps the government is taking to shield Kenyan drivers from exploitation by app managers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I don't see any interest. Next statement, Senator Farhia.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me an opportunity. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding attacks by Al-Shabaab terrorists in Wajir County involving the use of improvised explosive devices, IEDs, on 6th May 2018 and on 15th June 2019 that led the death of 5 police officers and a police reservist and the death of 12 police officers respectively. In the statement, the committee should state what innovative measures the government is putting in place in Wajir County and other parts of the country to deal with terrorism in general and the use of IEDs in particular. Mr. Speaker, let them also explain the plans that the government has in place to compensate the family of the dead officers. Let them also provide a report of statistics of terror attacks in the country, making comparison of terrorism incidents before and after the entry of KDF into Somalia. Mr. Speaker, part of the reasons I'm asking all this question is, this happened last year, almost the same time, and it's happening again. The question I ask, is there no intelligence to know what is happening? And if last year there was an incident and the officers responded to that incident and there was an explosive as a result, and then similarly this year, the same incident happens in the same way, where is our learning? I thought there is security intelligence, Mr. Speaker, in terms of ensuring that people learn from their previous experience. Because what the terrorists do is
Senator,
that
you have already read your statement. You don't need to debate or explain.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Falhada.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I begin, I missed an opportunity to welcome people from my county, Garissa. Welcome on the gallery. I'm sure they will get a leave from here and then perform well where they are. I wish them well on the entire stay. And I'm here to condemn the statement on Senator Farhia. And it's sad when, life are lost.
Senator Oda, are you
I'm just adding on
supporting, not
yes,
condemning?
Yes, I'm supporting, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
really supporting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And it's sad reality that lives are lost, and to be, every time these people, their ill motive is to end people's life, is a menace thing that will not come to an end. And I'm here to grieve with the family for the soldiers who lost their life and their families. And I'm really sorry what happened to the soldiers. It's really sad for them to lose their lives when they're in line of duty. And as the battle, this almost never ending, as I said, Mr. Speaker, menace of terrorists, I believe it's time we change the tactics on how to combat these guys, and we need to destroy them completely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Locorio Petronila.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to join my colleagues in thanking Senator Farhia for this statement, and ride on that statement to request that the chair of the committee also provides information on the armored vehicles that were bought some time back, and if the police officers that were killed by this IED were using those vehicles or not. Thank you.
Senator Mazayo Stewart.
Shukran, Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, pia mimi ningependelea kujiunga na ile statement, lakini zaidi sana la hususan ni kwamba ni jambo la kusikitisha, na natoa pole kwa wale ambao walipoteza maisha, haswa wale maaskari wetu. Ni jambo la aibu kwamba kitendo kama hichi kinatendeka kila siku. Kwa hiyo nataka kusema Bwana Spika ya kwamba Bwana Spika, kuna kelele ambazo siwezi kuzifahamu ni namna gani.
Let's consult in law tones, senators.
Bwana Spika, kuna vitengo vya ujasusi, vitendo vinaweza kuchunguza na vikajua tunaweza kuepuka namna gani, na viko ndani ya serikali, na hawa ni watu ambao wanachukua mishahara, wanafanya kazi. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, mimi ningependelea sana zaidi katika ile statement ya ule dada ichukuliwe umuhimu zaidi, na kwamba majibu kama hayo yaweze kuja hapa kadri vile inavyotakikana. Asante.
Senator Wetangula Moses.
Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate Senator Farhia for her statement and ride on it, and ask the chair of the committee, let's see the vice chair here, in answering the issues raised, to tell this House and the country how many of our uniformed men and women in all armed formations, whether it's military, AP, whatever, have perished at the hands of terrorist attacks, particularly in northern Kenya, and what the government has done to support the families, because most of them are normally young people with young families, leaving behind young widows with children who cannot carry on with their lives in school. What measures is the government taking in supporting the families of these young Kenyans who have perished in the line of duty at the hands of terrorists? And finally, Mr. Speaker, what measures the government is doing in protecting these soldiers? Because one would expect that in an area like Mandera and other dangerous areas, they should be given armored protection in terms of vehicles. They should be given armored gear in terms of body wear, and be given better weapons of better caliber than what the terrorists have. What measures are being taken, Mr. Speaker?
Senator Sakaja Johnson.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to ride on a statement sought from my committees. I just want to give an undertaking. Unless there are other members who want to comment on that, Mr. Speaker, I want to give a final undertaking on all the issues raised. So I seek your guidance on that. Whether do
There's a statement from Senator Fatuma Dulo, which also comes to security. So let her ask, then you respond to all of them. Yeah. Senator Fatuma Dulo.
Thank you.
It's okay. I'll do it here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek for a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on the escalating insecurity in Isiolo County. Mr. Speaker, sir, several towns along the Isiolo-Garissa border have been brought into a standstill as a result of frequent attacks that have led to loss of lives, and several families have been forced to run away from their homes. And specifically, last week, we had lost several lives and several people were injured. Mr. Speaker, sir, several meetings were held between the communities and government officials to resolve the border dispute along Isiolo-Garissa border. However, the government is yet to implement the resolutions. Mr. Speaker, sir, a few weeks ago, again, GSU officers were also accused of harassing and displacing residents of Yak Barsati. These officers used force on innocent civilians residing along the Isiolo-Meru border and prevented them from accessing their grazing areas. Mr. Speaker, the officers are currently stationed 100 meters from the chief's camp, which is affecting the daily operations of the community. And in the statement, the chairperson should explain what actions the government is making to urgently resolve the interboundary dispute between ourselves and our border counties. Secondly, explain what measures the Ministry of Interior is taking to ensure deployment of more security officers along the border that are affected. Number three, explain what plans the government is making to resettle the families that have been forced out of their homes in Eldera, which is almost a year ago. Number four, state the efforts the government is making to ensure the urgent implementation of several resolutions made by the counties. Number five, what actions the government is taking against the responsible GSU's officers to ensure they are held accountable in terms of violation of the right of the people. Six, explain why GSU officers who are deployed in that particular area are not in the affected area, because where they are deployed, there are no issues. And finally, state when GSU officers will be redeployed to the areas that are affected, not areas that are not affected. I thank you.
Senator Sakaja Johnson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, all these matters are quite weighty. These are matters that have been brought, especially if I start with Senator Fatuma Dulo's matter on Isiolo and Garissa. It came to our committee. And Mr. Speaker, the committee was actually scheduled to visit those areas. As we endeavored to do that, it so happened that there had been a meeting between, I think, legislators and the senators with the ministry. And we were then advised by them that we hold a bit. Mr. Speaker, even as we follow up on it, I'd like to urge senators, because it's the same as the matter on the withdrawal of reservists in the North Rift, and many other matters that come to the floor, that in as much as, once you've asked a question, and then subsequently there's an engagement between yourselves and the executive, I think it is prudent that you're able to come back to the committee and update us on how that matter is being pursued. Because Mr. Speaker, it so happens that even when such a meeting is held, Mr. Speaker, the Senate must still conclude on that issue, both through the executive and also through those who have asked for those statements, so that we do not do this in vain. But we will still follow up, Senator Fatuma. I will speak to you to get an update of what happened after you met with the CS of Interior and the security agencies. We're also still scheduled to have the CS.
What's your point of order,
Interior.
Senator Morco? Majority.
Mr. Speaker, I beg you to rule Senator Sakaja completely out of order, and I want you to hear this. There is no way, Mr. Speaker, if we bring statements to this House and the executive act as a result of our statements or to preempt the statement, that any senator will come here and report to this House. This House works through its committees. Even if an executive cabinet secretary will act on something that has been asked in this House, he will still have an opportunity to appear before the committee and tell the committee, thank you for your statement, it came on this day, but we have acted this way for this period of time. So this House still depends, and I hope Senator Orengo can listen to this because it's important. Senator Orengo, it's important you listen to this because it is about the traditions and the practice of the standing orders which you participated in drafting. Senator Sakaja is telling us that if you ask a question and the cabinet secretary calls you for a meeting because you come from that county, you should now come and report to this House and say, we have met, you don't need to get the answer. That's not how this House works. If you ask a statement and the cabinet secretary calls leaders from that county or from that region and has an engagement, still the cabinet secretary has a duty to appear before the committee and report formally as to what that engagement means for the nation. It will never be the responsibility of any elected leader to come and report to any committee of this House because already the committee works on our behalf. I just thought, Mr. Speaker, that must be corrected so that we don't create a very bad precedent.
Senator Sakaja.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, that is not a point of order in any way. And so it's the leader of majority who's grossly out of order. Number two, it's interesting that he's asking Senator Orengo to listen, yet he didn't listen to what I said. Mr. Speaker, in the first scenario I said that once we engaged with the person who asked and we'd planned to visit the area, the senator actually came back to us and said that it has been agreed upon that we hold back our visit. Mr. Speaker, for good measure, even just for neatness, once an engagement like that occurs, in as much as the Senate committee will continue to do its work, it's important for the senator to also update the committee, even to tell the chair that we've done this so far, because when you're doing these things, these are issues raised by your people from your counties. If there's an update, I think information is important. However, that does not stop us as a committee from continuing to pursue the matter. And even on the matter on the reservists, we're still pursuing a date when the cabinet secretary and his team are going to come. Because as far as we are concerned, as a Senate committee, that meeting was informal. It was not the Senate. It was individuals who went as individual senators to meet them, but the Senate as a house is still seized of those matters. So I think it's good to also be listening to others. Mr. Speaker, on the second issue on Wajir, I've had the riders. I think the information that we should bring to this House, sought by Senator Faria, is quite important. However, we must also remain alive to the fact that some of these things, I've had some of the questions asked by Senator Wetangula and the rest, for us to say how many Kenyan officers, uniformed officers, have lost their lives in the hands of Al-Shabaab. That's an answer that we cannot bring to this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are at war. Some of these matters, Mr. Speaker, will bring here just to exalt terrorism. So some of these things, even in other jurisdictions, are brought in confidence to the committee, but we will not come here to issue a list of Kenyans who have died in this war. Global terror is a war that we are at as a country. But we will make sure as a committee that government indeed has committed to actually take care of those families, because that is a privilege and the
What's your
responsibility
point of order, Senator
of the
Mazayo?
Senate.
If a member asks a question, I do not think the chair of a respective committee that is supposed to answer that question is in a position to really start replying to that member the way he believes. He's not a police officer, he's not an army officer, he's not a government, he's not been appointed by any authority whatsoever to start explaining to us or lecture us on that.
Senator Sakaja.
Thank you.
Order, Senator
completely
Sakaja.
out of order.
Order. Before you come to your feet. I think the point they are raising is it's up to the committee, your committee, to look at the statement that has been sought and check what is supposed to be presented here and what should not be presented here. That will be the prerogative of your committee at that point when you are reporting, not now.
Mr. Speaker, as chair of the committee, I have to give an undertaking of what I'm going to do. The question has been sought. Our committee has dealt with these matters before, and we know the limits to which we can go to. So, Mr. Speaker, it will also be very insincere of me to tell this House and Kenyans that I'm going to bring a list of Kenyans killed by Al-Shabaab. That we will not do. And if members of my committee are uncomfortable, then we'll bring it. But, Mr. Speaker, we must remain patriotic to this country. The questions asked on the statement, as approved by your office, will be answered. I was talking about the riding statements, which, Mr. Speaker, cannot be brought in front of any parliament in the world by a country that is at war. Mr. Speaker, finally, there was a statement sought where the war was declared by the last. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if members are not aware, we are at war with Al-Shabaab. I think members need to wake up and smell the coffee. It is not a picnic in Wajir. It is not a picnic in Somalia. We are actually at war with terror as a country. And that was officially declared in Parliament in the 10th one. I'm sure you were in Parliament at that time. Mr. Speaker, on the last one, that was sought from the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, Mr. Speaker, this is a very important matter about our young people. These are young people in digital hailing taxis, Uber, Taxify, etc. It's a matter that we've raised in this House before, and I want to thank Senator Mutula for bringing it up. Mr. Speaker, we will bring the responses, but on top of the responses, we actually have discussed this as a committee. We're inviting the Ministry of Transport, the National Treasury, the Competition Authority, Uber, Taxify, and all of this, little cab, to come and explain to us the plight of our drivers who are suffering. Many are losing lives on roads because they're driving for more than 18 hours. 25% goes to foreign countries, and our country is not earning a shilling out of it. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll bring this response to the House, and we'll invite other senators, because I know this affects at least Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, where these digital hailing cabs are operating from. And on top of that, we have a legislative proposal by the committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. What's your point of order, Senator Murkomen?
First of all, Mr. Speaker, I hope a new precedent is not being set where a statement is sought and a chairman of a committee comes to say a lot of English about how they will go about it. It's only your duty to tell them, is it 2 weeks or 1 week? And then that is it. Mr. Speaker, what they will come and report will be debated the day they are issuing the statement. Number two, Mr. Speaker, the chairman of this committee, Senator Sakaja, when we asked a statement about withdrawal of National Police Reservists, Mr. Speaker, he said he was going to call the minister within a week and give an interim response within a week. Mr. Speaker, it's now more than a month. Since that time, I just speak for my county, since that time we've lost 5 people, Mr. Speaker, in Kerio Valley, 2 of whom were buried this Saturday, Mr. Speaker. This last Saturday, 2 people who were just in their farms and were shot dead, Mr. Speaker, by bandits because there were no police reservists to protect them. Mr. Speaker, I just can't believe that even if we had an informal meeting, which I was part of that informal meeting, that meeting was not able to grill a cabinet secretary from the perspective of the oversight of parliament. And Mr. Speaker, even when I was there, I told him that as long as the withdrawal
So,
will
leader,
guarantee,
what are you raising? Is it a point of order?
No, Mr. Speaker, that statement, what I'm just raising is that, is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for people to continue dying? Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, the Senate committee which has been given the responsibility to oversight, has not got back to us now almost a month, Mr. Speaker, since we asked the question. And yet, Mr. Speaker, we want to debate how to go about the question, and there are enough questions that have been asked before that needs an answer in this House. People are dying in Kerio Valley, Mr. Speaker, like rats, and this House must be able to give an answer.
Okay, Leader of course, it's out of order for people to die. That you know, Leader of Majority. We cannot allow people to die. But Senator Sakaja, the Leader of Majority is saying you gave an undertaking that you'd give an answer within 1 week, and you have not done that.
Mr. Speaker, again I repeat, the Leader of Majority needs to listen. I have just said over here that, Mr. Speaker, that matter is still on. We have communicated to the ministry. There was an issue with scheduling, and the minister is still coming. We're getting a definitive date, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when we invite a cabinet secretary to the House as a committee, you know, I wish we could be able to go and drag them from the office to come here. But you understand the channels through which we're inviting these cabinet secretaries. The invite went immediately. I gave that undertaking. And then they were not available, I think, because of cabinet. They're still coming. And so, as soon as the date is confirmed, because actually it's supposed to be next week, though we're on recess, we'll be able to communicate. But we're still on that matter, Mr. Speaker.
I think the Leader of Majority has said, what's your point of order?
That is not how this House works, Mr. Speaker. This House, Mr. Speaker, is empowered by law. Article 120, if I'm not wrong, 125, it should be corrected if I get the right place. We have the power to summon a cabinet secretary to appear before this House. If you hear the way you have not summoned, you've invited. If he's not coming under invitation, you must issue writs and summon him to come here. Why, Mr. Speaker? Because we are not talking about mandasis and tea. We are talking about people dying every day. We want, Mr. Speaker, the chairman, when he stands on the floor of this House, to demonstrate the seriousness that deserves, particularly on matters of security, and not, Mr. Speaker, to come and speak here like is an apologist for the executive. When, Mr. Speaker, we are saying an answer must be given about why people are dying. And Mr. Speaker, the chairman must demonstrate the seriousness that goes with the position he holds in terms of holding the executive into account.
Senator Orengo, you are not on record.
Mr. Speaker, I'm also very disturbed with what Senator Sakaja is saying. Is undermining the authority of Parliament. The Constitution itself, these days you cannot conduct a war which is not subject to the control of Parliament. Parliament, when the executive declares a war, it must be authorized and approved by Parliament. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to read this section of the Constitution, which is very important. Because when people are dying, which other authority in the land should be informed about what is happening, even in a war zone, other than Parliament? I think, Mr. Speaker, this is what I wanted to read. National security, this article 238, sub-article 2A. National security is subject to the authority of this Constitution and Parliament. So any question that is demanded by Parliament from the national security organs must be answered. But if they have any reason to give those, they have reasons not to give those answers, then Parliament should be told why they are not ready to give those answers. But it's not for the chair to come and tell us he cannot give us, unless he's got some authority under the Constitution to edit the questions that we are asking, the statements that we require to be answered. Even laws, even wars have got their own law. There's the law of wars, under the Geneva Convention. We are no longer conducting wars like we used to do in the medieval days. This is a war that must be done with the authority of Parliament, and the executive must be accountable to Parliament. We are not accountable to the executive.
Senator Mazzayo.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to join myself with the leader of the majority and the leader of the minority. Mr. Speaker, I remember 3 weeks ago I was on the floor of this House asking a question, particularly directed to the security, regarding a person who
Mr. Speaker, I think we can make progress on these issues. I think the answer will bear me out. And Senator Wetangula, you have said, I think you walked out when I responded to that particular matter. The first issue raised by Senator Orengo, yes, the country is at war. And the war is based on the constitutional provisions that you've said in 2011. And I think, if I'm not wrong, you were in cabinet. Parliament approved Kenya's war against Al-Shabaab. And that has not been withdrawn. Mr. Speaker, we are not shy of bringing responses to this House. In fact, if anything, from this side of the House, I think there are very few senators who've been less apologetic of the executive. Mr. Speaker, we will do it based on our standing orders and the rules of this House. On the earlier question that Senator Leader of Majority is speaking about, Mr. Speaker, sometimes, even as chairs, once we have actually invited cabinet, beyond that, Mr. Speaker, even dispatching the correspondence is not in the hands of the committee. It is in the office of the Speaker and the office of the clerk. The correspondence has gone. We are still on that matter. We're waiting for them to come on an agreed upon date. And members will be alerted. Finally, Mr. Speaker, there are some situations, and I think anybody who is honest to themselves will actually bear me out. There are some situations where some matters do not serve our interest discussed in plenary. And as Senator Wetangula said, through the proper channel, when that response comes, we will then take a decision as a committee whether to hear it in camera or not. But I have not said that there's no question we will not ask. We ask everything. In fact, we have asked for things, I think, beyond any other committee in this House. But some of those things are dealt responsibly in camera. So I do not come here and exalt, because it's an ideological war. We cannot come here, Mr. Speaker, again, and exalt the war that they are meting out on us by saying these are the number of Kenyans who have been killed. But we will deal with it in committee. In fact, those who've asked those questions, we will invite you to come and listen to it with privilege and in camera. Because at the end of the day, even as we exercise our independent function as a Senate, we must remember that we're part and parcel of this territory called Kenya, and we must remain patriotic, Mr. Speaker.
Senator
I stand by
Faria,
that, and the committee will deliberate and give responses.
Senator Faria, worried, 2 minutes.
No, even 1 minute. Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to ask about is this House, I think we need implementation committee. Because there's a question I asked Security Committee September 2018, and up to now it has never been answered. And this is not the first time I'm asking. So there's a merit in what the senators are talking about. So can we have security? Security is an important component. So we need a more responsive Security Committee in this House, Mr. Speaker.
Order, members. Next statement, Senator Hargura. You don't raise your hand, you press the button. Senator Mwaruma. Okay, Senator Mwaruma, what is it? Okay, order, Senator. Senator Mwaruma.
Asante, ndugu Speaker. Nimefinya intervention, nimefinya mic, nimejaribu yote. Lakini kiangalia kiongozi wa walio wengi, akibonyeza intervention, anakuja, alafu anaanza kuongea. Nikajaribu hiyo, ikashindikana. Lakini
order member. Hiyo ndio tofauti ya kiongozi wa wengi na wewe.
Nashukuru kwa vile umenipa hii fursa ili niseme nilio nayo moyoni kwa sababu ya utendakazi wa kamati zetu. Kuna kamati zingine zinafanya kazi kweli vizuri kabisa, na kiwa na petition ama swali wanaita mawaziri. Lakini kwa zingine mawaziri hawaitwi. Kwa mfano, nilikuwa na petition ya watu ambao wanaokufa kule Taita kwa sababu ya illegal herders. Waziri hakuitwa. Kuna swala kwa mfano la spillage ya oil Kiboko, na nashukuru chairman wangu ama mwenyekiti wangu wa hiyo kamati ya energy, tumeita mawaziri. Sasa zile zinaitwa mawaziri ni gani na zile haziitwi mawaziri ni gani? Inaonyesha kuna ubaguzi wa wale ya zile committees ama wale wanaoleta maswali na ule umuhimu unaotiliwa hayo maswali. Nafikiri nilikuwa nataka kusema hivyo ili liwe katika record.
Okay, what's your point of order, Senator Bogisho?
Speaker, just even before we go to the next statement, Speaker, I have noted, as you have, Speaker, that every time we stood on a point of order, it was not a point of order. There was more argument and reopening of debate. And as we move to the next, Mr. Speaker, can we conclude as a House how we catch your eye on points of order. Either by raising hands, because I've seen members even raising hands. Some are doing, I don't know what else. And just to get to know what really how to catch your eye, because pressing this intervention here, Mr. Speaker, doesn't seem to bring it out, because I've been trying to do that. So can we agree with speakers, two things, that at least we know how to do that, but secondly, that points of order become points of order and not continued debate. Thank you.
How you catch the attention of the eye of the speaker is you just press the button. It will show interventions here. But sometimes I also use my discretion to balance the house. Yeah, to balance the house, because if members from one side pressed all of them at a go, and we have one on the other side, I will give an opportunity also to the other side, so that and even the gender and all those. So there are very many factors, but just continue pressing. You will catch my eye. Senator Hargura.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation concerning the state of Loyangalani airstrip in Marsabit County. In the statement, the committee should state what plans the government has to rehabilitate Loyangalani airstrip to bitumen standards and improve it to a level where it can accommodate large aircrafts, considering that the airstrip is an important access point to, among others, the Loyangalani Resort on the eastern shores of Lake Turkana, which plays host to the annual Lake Turkana Cultural Festival. And also, the committee should indicate what measures are in place to ensure that there is scheduled airlines service to the region in order to promote tourism and open up the economy of Marsabit County and the region generally. Mr. Speaker, I'd just like to state that this is a situation we have experienced. I can remember last time during the last festival, the visitors who came had to actually land in Lodwar and come in through using helicopters to Loyangalani. So it's a serious issue, and I think the committee will take it seriously. Thank you.
Those are given an opportunity, just take 2 minutes because we have to vote. Senator Kibiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I take this opportunity to thank you, Senator Marsabit, for this statement. And just join and seek that when the committee start looking at these issues, I believe there are many airstrips in this country and in many counties that are still abandoned. Mr. Speaker, I think they can expand their horizons by looking at is this good? Yeah? Am I audible? It's my voice. Sorry, thank you. I was just saying, Mr. Speaker, that we have many other airstrips in other counties, and probably the committee will need to expand their horizons once they start embarking on this very important statement and look at other abandoned airstrips. Mr. Speaker, we have Moya airstrip, which I believe, and I heard the other day that the land is even being clapped. People are constructing homes in the airstrip. So, Mr. Speaker, I think I would just need to seek that when the committee embarks on this, they try to map out other airstrips that has been abandoned. Mr. Speaker, now that I'm on the mic, I also got concerned on the statement.
Order, members, let's consult in low tones.
Mr. Speaker, I'm taking advantage that now I'm on the mic to say that I was concerned when the majority leader is complaining of statements that are not being responded to. I don't know where we are supposed to refer ourselves to if the leadership is also complaining that statements are not being responded to. I didn't seek a statement on Keruwea Hospital. To date, when you gave 2 weeks, nobody has ever responded to me. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Leader of majority.
First of all, Mr. Speaker, that is something outside the reasons why Senator Argura asked a question. But be it as it may, it must be known, Mr. Speaker, that I oversight all these committees. And if they need my help, I'm always ready to help. But where they are not performing, Mr. Speaker, I will say it on the floor of the House or say it privately. But some of the things need to be said so that everybody can appreciate, because we are a committee system. Maybe we should take another time off and run through what it means, what it means to be called a parliament that works through committee system, to show the power of committee chairs like Senator Kibiru and what they can do in their capacity. Mr. Speaker, maybe that will help.
Senator Borgisho.
Yes, so thank you, Speaker. And as you can see, Speaker, that the majority leader stands on a point of order and then goes ahead to create more disorder. Now, Mr. Speaker, if we have Speaker.
Senator Murkomele, I think let that pass. Proceed, Senator Bogish.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I want to join in the statement by the Senator for Marsabit, because, Mr. Speaker, most of these airstrips are security airstrips. And we budget, and there is budget for security airstrips. There's budget for security roads. Mr. Speaker, it's important for government to understand, for government to understand that this save lives. And so in the committee, please consider the fact that we need to map and check on the airstrips which are good for all of us in each county, because there are some which have been neglected in every county, in West Pokot, Kapenguria, in Takwel. All those are not functional right now, and they are security airstrips. So let's include all the security airstrips, and I think we'll be okay with the way that we coordinate our airstrips. Thank you.
Next order. What's your point of order, Senator Sakaja?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and sorry to come on a point of order at this point. There's an assertion that was made by Senator Maruma that I think should not go unchallenged. Mr. Speaker, Senator Maruma was complaining that certain committees, some on cabinet secretaries and others, are not bringing cabinet secretaries. Yet, Mr. Speaker, as he said that, Senator Maruma is complaining he had a petition about cattle herders in his county. Mr. Speaker, he has failed to acknowledge the fact that I personally, together with my committee, came all the way to Taita Taveta County, we went to Undanyi, we went to Sagala to listen to those issues, after which, Mr. Speaker, the senator said he is satisfied. Mr. Speaker, as we oversight as a house, oversight does not necessarily mean calling a cabinet secretaries. Some issues can be sorted out by other people in the executive, Mr. Speaker, and I think that must be made clear. So I would wish even he just acknowledges and says that he's grateful that the committee came. If there's a part of that he's not satisfied with, he can just come back to the committee and we'll deal with it. But it doesn't mean that each and everything that comes to this house, because the executive is not just a cabinet secretary. Sometimes you can deal with the regional commissioner of police. Sometimes you can deal with heads of parastatals, because our work is to oversight in entirety, Mr. Speaker.
Order members, I know Maruma, let me make a ruling on that. That one, let us have confidence in our committees, because the committees have capacity to know what evidence to take, whom to summon, and be able to give a comprehensive report on what has been asked. If you are not satisfied, then maybe you can still see the committee and find out from them areas that are not clear to you. But you see, you cannot say, because they failed to summon a minister, therefore that report is not good enough. Yes, Senator Maruma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. The nature of that problem, Mr. Speaker, and I thank you for coming to Taita Taveta. It was not exhaustive. The approach was not exhaustive in that there are OB numbers that have not been looked at. Nobody has been prosecuted. And now again, the same thing is happening. So we wanted the cabinet secretary to come and tell us how will we solve that insecurity issue when you don't call, when there are no prosecutions. I think that was the thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think, Honorable Senator, I think the committee has done their bit. They have made certain recommendations, and I think their recommendation must have been based on certain facts. So if you are dissatisfied, then I think you can go to the committee and point out areas that you would want improvement done on the report. Next order. What's your point of order, Senator Dulo? We need to move. Order members.
I think, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect to the members, we have standard practice in this house, and the procedures must be followed.
And more
Order members. Let's consult in low tones.
More
Senator
specifically, our brother from Taita Taveta, if you are not satisfied with the answers given, I think there are laid down procedures within our standing orders, and also you have to approach the committee that you are not satisfied with this and kindly follow it up on my behalf. But if we come back to the House and prosecute the same petition on the floor of the House, I think that is wrong. Thank you.
I think I'd given a ruling on that. Thank you, Senator Dulo. Next order.
Order number 8, the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2019, first reading. An act of Parliament to provide a legal framework for the recognition, protection, and regulation of street vending in Kenya, the identification of minimum standards for street vending, and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 9, motion, adoption of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2017.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion: that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2017.
Use your mic, Senator Boye. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion: that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2017, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 18th June 2019, and pursuant to Article 113 of the Constitution and Standing Order 161, 3 of the Senate Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker, this bill originated from the National Assembly. And Mr. Speaker, the bill was debated in the National Assembly and passed by the National Assembly. After it was passed by the National Assembly, it came to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, when it came to the Senate, it was taken to the Committee of Lands, Environment, and National Resources. That is where it was committed. Mr. Speaker, sir, we went
Honorable
through the
Senators,
bill.
let's consult in low tones. Order, members. Order.
We deliberated on the bill, Mr. Speaker, and made quite a number of amendments and brought the amendments and the report to this House, and the bill was passed by this House. Mr. Speaker, the bill went back to the National Assembly, and they looked at it, rejected some bills, Mr. Speaker, some amendments, Mr. Speaker, and approved others. And that created the need for mediation. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of the Committee of Mediation was done both by the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Speaker of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the Mediation Committee comprised of 5 members from the National Assembly and 5 members from this Senate. Mr. Speaker, we deliberated on the issues that were brought to us by the National Assembly, and one of the major issues, Mr. Speaker, was the title of the bill. We deliberated on it and agreed that the bill should be amended to physical planning and land use planning. And before we agreed, we had met about, I think, 5 times. The first meeting was on the 7th of May this year, and it was followed by several other meetings. One of them was on the 21st, 29th, 4th, and 6th of June, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, after serious deliberations, we even decided that we should get the actual meaning of physical planning and land use planning. And we gave that to that assignment to some people who brought back the meaning of the two. And Mr. Speaker, when it came to the meaning, we agreed on the bill because we were convinced that the title of the bill should be named Physical and Land Use Planning, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there were other clauses in the bill, and we also looked at them critically, and we agreed on what we deliberated on, and that is the need to move this motion, Mr. Speaker, in this House. The same motion is being moved in the National Assembly because of the concurrence of the two houses, so that it can go to the President for assent. Mr. Speaker, sir, I had been warned that I don't take a lot of time by the leader. I'm looking for Senator Mutura Kalonzo to second. I don't know where he is. Senator Mutura is here. He can second the motion.
The two are not the same. Senator Mtula.
Yeah, you are right. Senator Mtula Kalonzo is not the same. Thank you, Speaker. I rise to support. We did a lot of work. I would have preferred, Speaker, if this report was given a little more time for members to digest what we have done, but to finally say that after amending this bill in the last session and it not seeing the light of day, we are now going to have the physical and land using bill, which is a mongrel of physical planning and land use planning. It's not the best law that we can have, but in light of the circumstances, it appears as if the people who are pushing the agenda of physical planning had the best of us. But we have managed, Mr. Speaker, with a lot of difficulty to have the physical land use planning framework in this new act. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support this and hope, Mr. Speaker, just like we have recommended, in future, we need a complete legal framework on its own titled Land Use Planning. I beg to support. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, order. Honorable Senators, I now propose the question, which is that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Physical Planning Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2017, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 18th June 2019, and pursuant to Article 113 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 161.3 of the Standing Orders, approves the mediated version of the bill. Since there is no interest, I now put the question, which is that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Fiscal Planning Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2017, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 18th June 2019, and pursuant to Article 113 of the Constitution and Standing Order 161.3 of the Senate Standing Orders, approves the mediated version of the bill. As many of that opinion say, yeah, since it's a matter concerning counties, I now direct that the division bell be rung for 2 minutes. Honorable Senators, I now direct that the doors be locked and that the bar be drawn. Honorable Senators, I now put the question, which is that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Fiscal Planning Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2017, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 18th June 2019, and pursuant to Article 113 of the Constitution and Standing Order 161.3 of the Standing Orders, approves the mediated version of the bill. You can now log in. You can start voting now. Yeah, vote. Do we those who need to be assisted? Those who need to be assisted, move, approach the clerk. Okay, honorable senators. The results of the division are as follows. Order members, order members. The ayes have 33, the nays have 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. Honorable senators, I also would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting students and teachers from Kurungu Secondary School, Kirinyaga County. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I also like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting students and teachers from Kirwara Secondary School, Kirinyaga County. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 10, the Mental Health Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 32 of 2018, second reading division.
Honorable senators, I now put the question, which is that the Mental Health Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 32 of 2018, be read a second time. You can start voting, senators. Okay, order members, order honorable senators. The result of the division are as follows. The ayes 31, the nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Mental Health Act and for connected purposes.
Honorable senators, I now direct that the doors be unlocked and that the bar be drawn. Honorable senators, there will be more divisions, so members don't leave. Next order.
Just allow me to. Order number 11, Committee of the Whole, the County Planning, Roads, Pavements and Parking Base Bill, Senate Bills number 18 of 2018. Order number 12, Committee of the Whole, the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bills number 19 of 2018. Order number 13, Committee of the Whole, the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bills number 25 of 2018. Order number 14, the Committee of the Whole, the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2018. Order number 15, Committee of the Whole, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 24 of 2018.
Honorable, can we call them? Honorable Senators, please don't leave. We are going to vote. Kindly don't leave.
Where are the whips?
Can the bell be rung for 3 minutes? Is that with it?
No, it's okay. Let's see if we get the numbers.
So this one I've never done. How is it done? I've not done this.
This is the patient, eh? So you
Just go for the for.
There?
Okay.
With the majority.
The bell is over. Am I still ringing?
You lost the majority and minority.
Could the whips please confirm if we have the numbers? Can we confirm, whips, can we confirm if they have the numbers? Honorable Senators, we are ready to transact business. Please, can you have your seats? Honorable Senators, Chairman Kericho, tafadhali. Please, can the bus be drawn and the door locked? Is she voting? Okay, now. Then I just read it. So we are going for division. Honorable Senators, we are considering order number 11. Then I read. The county planning, roads, pavement, and parking bays bill, Senate bills number 18 of 2018. I put the question that clause 3 to 16, clause 2, and clause 1 be amended as proposed. Honorable Senators, you can now start insert your cards. Not yet. You can now vote. Oh, we are now voting the amendments. Any members who need assistance to vote, please come forward. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 30, nays nil, abstention nil. The ayes have it. I put the question. All clauses. I put the question that clauses 3 to 16 as amended, clauses 2 as amended, clause as amended, the title, and clause 1 as amended be part of the bill. Honorable Senators, log in. Now you can vote. Assisted voters, please come forward. None. And myself? They have now voted on. We now all voted.
No, that was 27. They are 30.
And Mwaruma? Senator Mwaruma, please come. Nani has voted? Mwaruma. Amevote. Andika. Senator Kibiru, have you, excuse me, Senator Kibiru? Landlord, come and vote. Senator Linturi, please come. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 31, nays nil, abstention nil. The ayes have it. Senator Kasanga, the mover to what? I don't know if she... Yes.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to Senate its consideration of the County Planning, Roads, Pavement, and Parking Bays Senate Bills number 18 of 2018 and its approval thereof with amendments.
I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Planning, Roads, Pavements, and Parking Bays Senate Bills number 18 of 2018 and its approval thereof with amendments. May as many as are of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order. Honorable Senators, we are now considering the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bills number 19 of 2018. Yeah. I put the question that clauses 4 and 15 be amended as proposed. Honorable Senators, you can now vote. Vote now. These people, we didn't open the door. I think there are people. Any assisted voters to come forward? So it's only myself. Honorable Senators, the results of the first division, ayes 30, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. We proceed to the second division. I put the question that new clause 14A and new clause 18A be now read a second time. Clause 2, county outdoor. 12, I think 12. You can now vote. Okay, Honorable Senators, now you can vote. Any assisted voters?
Mwinyi has not voted.
Call Senator Cherarkei and Senator Mwinyi Haji.
Cherarkei?
And Senator Mwinyi Haji.
Senator who?
Senator from Mombasa.
Oh, Senator Faki.
And Senator Wako. Wako has voted.
He has voted, eh?
Yeah, so
Haikufika hapa. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 30, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. We are proceeding to the third division. I put the question that clauses 3, 4 as amended, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 as amended, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, new clause 14A, new clause 18A, clause 2, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill.
Just click. Tell them to vote.
Honorable Senators, ready, vote. Sharp, sharp. Senator Pokisho, please come to the... Senator Pokisho, please come and vote.
Yeah. We've just noticed you have also not voted.
Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Mover, Senator Pokisho.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendment. There's a lot of consultation going on.
I put a question. I will put a question that I will put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bills number 19 of 2018, its approval with amendments thereof. As many as are of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say nay. I said it. The ayes have it. I didn't say. So the next one?
Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Tuko kwa the county law compliance. Do you have the name? These are the questions for the county law compliance. You may want, Madam Speaker, to bring to the attention of this order.
Honorable Senators, we'd like to refer to standing order, where is it? Number 86-4. During division, senators shall maintain order in the Senate and shall be in their designated seats and shall remain seated until the result is announced. Honorable Senators, please adhere to the standing order. We are considering this. Honorable Senators, please order, Honorable Senators. Deputies, just do it. Order number 13, the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bills number 25 of 2018. This one.
Yes, we are starting with the first one.
I put the question that the new clause 25 be now read a second time.
New clause 25. Yes. Yes, that's it.
Start voting, Honorable Senators.
To verify hizo well, they've been enabled.
Honorable Senators, please vote if you have not voted. Honorable Senators, the results will be announced later. We move to the next. I put the question that clauses 10, 11, and 12 be deleted. Start voting. Tell them the results will be announced later. Yeah, Honorable Senators, the results will be announced in due course. I put the question that clauses 3, 4 as amended, 5, 6 as amended, 7, 8 as amended, 9 as amended, 13 as amended.
This one, clauses with amendments. Clause 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that clauses 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, and 14 be amended as 13 and 15 be amended as proposed. Please vote.
Just checking the right now it's third division. Can I vote? So to not delete. None. Look for Farhia or something. It's Farhia.
She didn't, Senator Faria, please come over to vote. Faria.
She's voted, but there are two who haven't voted in this.
Senator Ochilo Ayako and Senator Mutula Jr. carried. I put a question that clauses 3, 4 as amended, 5, 6 as amended, 7, 8 as amended, 9 as amended, 13 as amended, 14 as amended, clauses 16 to 24, new clause 25, the schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Start voting, honorable senators. But I can also just read from there.
Yeah, you can read from there too. 27, 4 more to go, 3.
Honorable senators, kindly vote. Honorable senators, please vote. If you have not voted, kindly vote. One more to vote. Now we are okay. Honorable senators, the results for the first division, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. Second division, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. Third division, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. The fourth division, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0, the ayes have it. Move up, please. One.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, that is the Senate Bill number 26 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I will put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018, and its approval there, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of the opinion say aye? And those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, order number 14, the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2018. I put the question that clauses 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, and clause 2 be amended as proposed. You will report it at the same time. Huh? Kindly vote, honorable senators. Start voting. Wapi Shiongo?
Can you guys vote? Can you vote? People vote.
Check mine if it is. Honorable senators, one has not. I put the question that clauses 3, 4 as amended, 5 as amended, 6 as amended, 7 as amended, 8 as amended, 9 to 11, 12 as amended, 13 to 19, clause 2 as amended, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Start voting almost. Honorable senators, you can start voting. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Division, this is what? That's a division. What is a division? What is this?
This is it's a division, no? Sorry?
The first division.
First division.
Honorable Senators, the first division results are as follows. Ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Second division, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Mover, please. Mover.
No. It's Senator Mahmoud. Senator Mahmoud. Senator Mahmoud.
Senator Chair of Finance.
It's your bill.
At a movie, I think.
Number 42. I don't know. 45.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable Senators, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments. May as many as are of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next we move to the
So now we go to
order number.
order number 50.
Honorable Senators, we are now considering order number 15, the Statutory Instruments Amendments Bill, Senate Bills number 24 of 2018. The first division, I put the question that new clause 4 and 5 be now read a second time. Honorable Senators, you can now vote. Kindly vote. No, it's okay, it's okay. They've all voted. When we vote.
Everybody? Is that 31?
Honorable Senators, next division, I put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed. Division. Three. Honorable Senators, you into the last one. Honorable Senators, the third division, I put the question that clause 2, clause 3 as amended, new clause 4 and 5, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division. Honorable Senators, kindly vote.
Where's the one for clause 3? Which one? Did you give it to me? The printer.
That's one.
Which one? This one? Clause 3 be amended as proposed. I only have this one. You got the result? Did you print it?
So just print and do it.
Can we reprint?
Because the results are the same.
Did you vote? Did we look at it? I think we jumped it.
Which one?
This one.
We did. We've just done it. I
Before
even,
this?
yeah. I did, we did
We
it.
did, eh?
Yeah, we did. And I even remember. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. Division 1, ayes 31, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it.
For the convenience of the House, we are going to have the reporting first on all the bills, and then the division we do at once. Therefore, we will hold on the division and go to the reporting on the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2018. Chairperson. Chairperson. Order, Senator. Chairperson. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bills number 19 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Now, Senator Pogisio, your status is mover. That is your position, mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report.
Who is seconding? Give Senator Pogisio the
Thank
mic.
you. And ask Senator Farhia to second.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I'll put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Bill number 29 of 2018, be now read a third time. And I'll ask Honorable or Senator Kamar over there to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
Actually, Senator Pogisio, that is good English. I heard some senators asking over where, but that is good English, very good English. I will propose the question, which is that the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2018, be now read a third time. I'll put the question, which is that the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2018, be now read a third time. Division at the end. Order senators, we now go to reporting on the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2018. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report to the Committee of the Whole. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I'll ask Senator Cheruiyot to second.
I second, Mr. Speaker.
I'll propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I'll put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2018, be now read a third time. I ask Senator Kipchumba Murkomen the majority leader to second.
I'll propose the question, which is that the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2018, be now read at that time. I'll put the question, which is that the County Law Compliance and Enforcement Bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2018, be now read at that time, division at the end. Next order, the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2018, Chairperson. Order, Senator Nyamunga.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2018, and disapproval thereof.
Mover.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report and ask Senator Pereno to second.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I second.
Although he called you Senator Pereno.
It should be Pareno.
I will propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I'll put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said third time. I'll put the question, which is that the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2018, be now read a third time, division at the end. The next order is order number 15. It's a Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 24 of 2018. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 24 of 2018, and disapproval thereof with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the committee do agree, that the House do agree with the committee on said report, and ask Honorable Professor Ikala to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
I'll propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Senator Faria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to move that the motion be amended by deleting the full stop at the end of and insert the following, subject to committal of the bill in respect to clause 4 to the Committee of the Whole.
Who is seconding?
I ask Senator Pareno to second.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
I'll put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report as proposed in the amendment by Senator Faria. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover. Order, Senator. Order. Resume your seat for a while. I think on that one, that is the statutory instruments bill, the matter ends there because it's being recommitted. So there will be no further proceedings on it. I now direct that the division bell be run for 3 minutes for all the items that we are voting for. Thank you, Senators, for your patience. Yeah. Senator Matsisa. Your protests were valid. Order, Senator Shonga. You can now vote. End of voting. Any assisted voters to come forward? Garissa delegation to come forward and vote manually. Order. Order, senators. Order, senators. The results of the divisions are as follows. I will start with the county planning, roads, pavements, and parking base, Senate Bill number 18 of 2018. Abstentions 0, no 0, ayes 35. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the planning, construction, and maintenance of county roads, streets, lanes, alleys, parking bays, drainage systems, and pavements, provide for planning of access ways to commercial buildings along major roads and for connected purposes.
Order, senators, and these are the results of the County Outdoor Advertising Control Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2018. Abstentions 0, no 0, ayes 35. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for a legal framework for the regulation of outdoor advertising in the counties and for connected purposes.
Order, senators, these are the results of the division on law compliance and enforcement bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2018. Abstentions 0, noes 0, ayes 35. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment of law compliance and enforcement units, to provide for the administration and maintenance of the units in each county and for connected purposes.
Last but not by any means least, the following are the results of the division on the County Ward Equitable Development Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2018. Abstentions 0, noes 0, ayes 35. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the promotion of equitable growth in the wards within the counties by providing for the allocation of funds for ward-based development projects, to provide mechanism for the selection of projects, to provide an oversight mechanism for the utilization of funds allocated for ward-based development projects and for connected purposes.
Very well. Thank you, senators. I now direct that the doors be open and the bars withdrawn. Order, Senators, for the convenience of the Senate, I now direct that we go direct to order number 23. Next order.
Order number 23, motion, approval of senators to serve in the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration.
And I want to use only 5 minutes. Yeah, so that we do, you know, the Mutula one we agreed, it must end. So let's not talk on this one. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the motion that pass on the standing order.
Order. Senators who are retreating to retreat gracefully.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the motion that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the House approves the nomination of the following senators to serve in the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration. Senator Millicent Omanga to replace Senator Philip Mpaye, Senator Christopher Langat to replace Senator Gideon Moi, and Senator Lelekwe Lutumbesi to replace Senator Anwar Loitiptip. Mr. Speaker, this is just for the convenience of the House and for redeployment and reorganization of the committee to guarantee more participation and active participation in the various committees that these members are. Those who are moving from these committees, it's by their request, Mr. Speaker, because of availability of their time and their participation in other committees. I beg to move and ask Senator Susan Kiiga to second.
Senator Kihika.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to second.
I see no interest, and therefore, I propose the question, which is that pursuant to Standing Orders 187 and 189, the House approves the nomination of the following senators to serve in the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration. A, Senator Millicent Omanga, MP, to replace Senator Philip Mpaye, MP. B, Senator Dr. Christopher Lagat, MP, to replace Senator Gideon Moi, MP, and Senator Dr. Lelegwe Lumbesi, MP, to replace Senator Anwar Loitiptip, MP. I see no interest, and therefore I put the question, which is that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the House approves the nomination of the following senators to serve in the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration. A, Senator Millicent Omanga, MP, to replace Senator Philip Mpaye, MP. B, Senator Dr. Christopher Lagat, MP, to replace Senator Gideon Moi, MP. And C, Senator Dr. Lelegwe Lumbesi, MP, to replace Senator Anwar Loitiptip, MP. Honorable Senators, I determine that this is not a matter concerning counties, and therefore, Senator Mutula, what else did you expect? Very well. So this is not a matter of concerning counties, and therefore, the votes will be by acclamation or lack thereof. As many of that opinion say aye. As many of our contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it. Order, Senators, I now direct again for the convenience of the Senate that we go to committee, and therefore we will consider particularly Standing Order number 16, Standing Order number 17, Order number 16, order number 17. This is the only time the chair will allow interruption because it is for the convenience of the Senate. And then we will go to order number 21 and order number 22, time permitting. Consequently, the following items in today's order paper are deferred, namely order number 18, order number 19, and order number 20. Next order.
Order number 16, Committee of the Whole, the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018. Order number 17, Committee of the Whole, the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018. Order number 21, Committee of the Whole, the Determination of the Nature of Bills Procedure Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2018. Order number 22, Committee of the Whole, the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018.
Honorable Senators, can we have our seats? Kindly just have our seats. Order number 16. Order number 16, the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018.
Clauses 3 to 24.
I propose the question that clauses 3 to 24 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 23 to 24 be part. I put the question that clauses 3 to 24 be part of the bill, division at the end.
The schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the schedule be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill, division at the end. Senator Pokisho, to report progress. Senator Kehika, can you please? They should stop talking too much.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 148, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Thank you.
I put the question, which is that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. May as many as are of the opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we move to the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018.
Clauses 3 to 8.
I propose the question that clauses 3 to 8 be part of the bill. I put a question that clauses 3 to 8 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Mover for amendments. Mover, please. Senator Naomi Wako. Give her the mic.
Oh, David.
See, I have done it.
Madam Chair, we intend to move the following amendment to the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill 2018, Senate Bill number 35 of 2018 at the committee stage.
You should move that I wish to move. That I wish to move that the bill be amended as proposed. Proposed in the order paper. Mm-hmm.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendment be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 10 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Mover for amendments, Senator Naomi Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendment be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 12 to 14.
I propose the question that clauses 12 to 14 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 12 to 14 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Madam Chair, I propose
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 16 to 33.
I propose the question that clauses 16 to 33 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 16 to 33 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 34.
I propose the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 34 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 34 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 35 to 37.
I propose the question that clauses 35 to 37 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 35 to 37 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 39 to 43.
I propose the question that clauses 39 to 43 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 39 to 43 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 44.
I propose the question that clause 44 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Naomi Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 44 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 44 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 45.
I propose the question that clause 45 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 45 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 45 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 46 to 51.
I propose the question that clauses 46 to 51 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 46 to 51 be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 52.
I propose the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Wako.
Madam Chair, I propose that the amendments be moved as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clauses 53 to 78.
I propose the question that clauses 53 to 78 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 53 to 78 be part of the bill, division at the end.
The first schedule, the second schedule, the third schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that the first schedule, the second schedule, the third schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the first schedule, the second schedule, the third schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill, division at the end. Mover, kindly make... Mover, please.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 142, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole report to the House its consideration of the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I will put the question, which is that the committee do report. Is it that one or this one? This one. I will put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Early Childhood Education Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018. That's the wrong one. This one. Sorry. I put the question, which is that the Committee of the Whole do report to the House its consideration of the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. May as many as are of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, now we move to the determination of the nature of bills, procedure bill, Senate bills number 30 of 2018. Yes, sir.
Clauses 3 to 15.
I propose the question that clauses 3 to 15 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 3 to 15 be part of bill. Division at the end.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Mover, Senator Mutula Jr.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I move that clause 16 be amended by deleting the said clause 16. Thank you.
I propose the question that clause 16 be deleted. I put the question that clause 16 be deleted. Division at the end.
New clause 13A.
Mover.
Thank you, Chair. I move that new clause 13A be inserted by immediately after clause 13 to read as follows. A bill originating from one house shall not lapse in the other house at the end of the session. 13.2 subclause 1 shall not apply to a bill that is pending before either house of Parliament.
Honorable Senator, it should be read a second time. It's a new bill.
Oh,
it's a new clause within
sorry.
the bill.
I,
Yeah.
that's,
It
I,
will
thought,
be read
yes.
a second time.
I propose that the new clause 13A be read a second time.
I propose the question that clause 13B be now read a second time. 13A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 13A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
The schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that the schedule, clause 2, title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the schedule, clause 2, and the title be part of the bill. Division at the end. Mover, kindly do make report.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 148, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on the consideration of the determination of nature of bills, procedure bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Thank you.
I will put the question, which is that the committee do report progress on its consideration of the determination of the nature of bills, procedure, bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. May as many as are of the opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Senator, we are now considering the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018. The mover, please.
Clauses 3 to 20.
I propose the question that clauses 3 to 20 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 3 to 20 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Mover, please.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 148, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole report progress on its consideration of the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bill number 28 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I will put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018, and its approval thereof without. Honorable Senators, I put the question, which is that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of the opinion say aye? Aye. And those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable Senators, we are reporting progress of the Committee of the Whole on the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018. Mover. It's mover. It's mover. Oh, we are here, eh? Oh, it's here. Sorry, Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report progress that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Statutory Instruments Bill, Senate Bills number 21 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. And I request Senator Mutula to second.
You are not on mic?
Madam Speaker, I second.
I will propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I will put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable Senators, we are now reporting on the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that a committee of the whole has considered the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. I request Senator Ledama Olekena to second.
Senator Ladamo Lekina.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Senators, I will now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. Senators, the next report is on the determination of the nature of bills, procedure bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2018. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report progress that the Committee of the Whole has considered the determination of nature of bills, procedures bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House doth agree with the committee in the said report and request Senator Dr. Agnes P. Zani to second.
Senator Zani. Thank you, Senators. I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I see no contribution. I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, the next report is on the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report progress that the Committee of the Whole has considered the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2018, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report, and I request Senator Beatrice Kwamboka to second.
Senator Kwamboka.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, I will now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Senators, I will now put a question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, after consultations, order number 4 is deferred to tomorrow, and I will move to order number 25, which is a motion on completion of all stalled projects under the county governments through budgetary management. If we can clean the screens, we would like to see, you can see we have, my screen is, a problem with my screen. Okay, I see Senator Zani. Agnes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this motion, which is very critical for the development in counties, and given the fact that most counties actually start with a clear development plan, a county integrated development plan, and that county development plan, initially when it was done in the first phase, it didn't really meet the requirements per se to 100% of a development plan. And in the second phase, these development plans, CIDPs have improved because there's been capacity building and people have been talking about them, and there is a level of improvement. But how are they linked to 2030 as a development, long-term development goal for the country? And how are they synchronized to ensure that they actually come across and are able to really make this blueprint of Vision 2030 become a reality within the counties? Because that development plan is meant to be synced with the development agenda, not just at the county level, but also at a national level. And now that we have a national, at the national level, we have the blueprint of Vision 2030, then we expect these various CIDP plans to be synced so that they resemble or at least address more or less the same goals, because it is a national development, but now cascaded into the counties. So there has been improvement within the various counties in terms of addressing this issue. But Madam Speaker, over time, and especially given the various agendas that are addressed, over time, what has happened is that even for the allocation of money that has gone into the projects, I remember, Madam Speaker, some time back, we had a chance to talk to Madam Agnes Odhiambo, a controller of budget. And the key question that we kept asking her is, what happens with the progress of these projects? These projects are budgeted for, money is allocated for these projects, but somewhere along the line, and I know various committees in their oversight work have gone to various counties just to see how are these projects actually moving on. And I found many of these projects have not yet been completed. Madam Speaker, this situation is made worse, especially when we have a transition from one county government into another, and where the goals for those projects, if they haven't been completed, is not taken up. Indeed, Madam Speaker, it would be the most ideal situation to have most of these county projects completed within a particular devolution time or term. But we find that sometimes this has not happened. So we have development projects. We have a lot of money that has been put into these specific development projects. But when it comes to actually being able to see what sort of development has taken place in terms of those projects, you find half-completed projects. Now, half-completed project is, in my mind, as good as not starting a project at all. Because then what was the benefit, considering that devolution addresses the socio-economic, cultural needs of communities, and that's why we devolved these services to them. When these services are not there, it really creates quite a quagmire for not only the counties, but I think the nation at wide, because it means that they haven't been done. And when it comes to now the bills that are accrued, per se, because of these projects that are meant to be put into place, and when you look at what is actually on the ground, it does not fit into that bill, then we clearly have a difficulty. One, theoretically, because then we have the CIDPs not being used or not being effective as a tool for development. Madam Speaker, when we talked with the control of budget, and we asked her, what is happening? Isn't there some sort of monitoring and evaluation on these projects that they maybe probably need to be timed and continuous monitoring and evaluation that should be taking place? And some measures taken, for example, for projects whose disbursements is going to the county in bits, that this is addressed and that these monies that are going, for example, might not go until, for example, a certain phase is achieved. And what the control of budget told us at that time is that for them, once they have given the money, they've just controlled the budget. Once they've given the money, it is not in their domain to come back again, and they don't have the tools and mechanisms for monitoring and evaluation that is so key for the projects. In fact, she put it in a straightforward manner and said that unless some sort of new system is put, because this would mean staff, this would mean expertise, this would mean coming up with experts at feasibility, looking at feasibility report before and the aftermath, and putting everything into place to ensure that exactly what has been predicted as development in the counties.
Order, honorable senators. Honorable senators, Senator Zani, you have a balance of 15 minutes when we next sit. Honorable senators, it's now 6:30 p.m. Time to adjourn the House. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, 20th June 2019 at 2:30 p.m.